In 2026, understanding how to invest starts with a simple fact. The Federal Reserve is making money cheaper, not more expensive. When borrowing is cheap, asset prices, stocks, gold, silver, and other real assets tend to rise. This isn't speculation, it's the system working as designed. The first thing investors need to grasp is liquidity, which is just a way of measuring how much money is available in the system and how easily it can be accessed. Think of liquidity like water in a swimming pool. When the water level rises, everything floats higher. When the water drains, everything sinks. Right now, the pool is filling up again. That means even if the economy doesn't feel strong, money is flowing freely. Investors are able to borrow more cheaply, companies can refinance or expand, and cash flows into markets. Understanding this is key to interpreting why stock prices, gold, and other assets may rise even when headlines seem negative. Interest rates tie directly into liquidity. When the Federal Reserve lowers rates, borrowing becomes cheaper, cash yields less, and investors start searching for returns elsewhere. This affects companies too. They refinance debt, invest in growth, and take on projects that might have seemed too expensive in higher rate environments. Lower rates mean future profits are discounted at a smaller rate, which tends to push valuations higher. For 2026, we're in an easing cycle, not a tightening one, which generally supports higher asset prices. Another major factor is the Fed's balance sheet. Starting in December, the Federal Reserve restarted what they call reserve management, which is effectively adding $40 billion per month into the financial system. Markets don't care about labels like technical or not QE. What matters is that this money increases liquidity, supports lending, and encourages investment in productive assets. This liquidity cycle isn't a one-time event. It tends to last longer than people expect because the system, government deficits, bank reserve requirements, and overall market stability depends on it. The US dollar is affected too. When rates fall and money supply grows, the dollar often weakens. A weaker dollar increases the price of US-denominated assets like stocks, gold, and silver because it takes more dollars to buy the same value. Importantly, the value of the underlying asset doesn't change. 1 ounce of gold is still 1 ounce, but the price in dollars rises. This is why precious metals often perform well during easing cycles. Investors also need to understand the concept of the Fed put. Historically, whenever markets face severe stress, 2008, 2020, or during banking episodes, the Federal Reserve tends to step in. They cut rates, inject liquidity, and expand the balance sheet. This is not a guarantee that markets won't fall, but it does mean severe declines are likely to be met with policy support. The Fed is trapped in this role because high debt levels, interconnected markets, and systemic reliance on liquidity make rapid declines risky for the broader economy. Looking ahead, a new Federal Reserve chair in May 2026 may shift priorities toward easier monetary policy. Easier policy generally supports economic activity, asset prices, and investor confidence. In a world of falling rates, increasing liquidity, and a moderately weaker dollar, investments are positioned to benefit, but volatility is normal. Pullbacks are opportunities, not warnings to exit. Let's talk about how these financial forces actually affect your investments in 2026. First, understand that owning a stock means owning a piece of a real business. When you hold shares, you are entitled to a portion of profits, potential dividends, and influence as a shareholder. This perspective changes everything. Price fluctuations are not random disasters. They are reflections of market sentiment and liquidity, not the underlying value of the business. One of the key concepts for long-term investors is intrinsic value. This is what a company is actually worth, based on its ability to generate earnings and cash flow over time. Market prices, however, are driven by supply, demand, and liquidity cycles. In an environment where the Fed is easing and liquidity is high, prices may rise faster than fundamentals. That's normal. Smart investors separate the market price from the business value and make decisions based on fundamentals, not headlines. Now let's simplify liquidity again. Money in the system doesn't just sit still. It moves toward opportunities that generate returns. Think of it as a river. When the river swells, everything on it floats higher. Stocks, ETFs, precious metals, and real assets benefit. When liquidity tightens, the river recedes, and asset prices can drop. Recognizing these cycles helps you anticipate opportunities rather than react emotionally to short-term market noise. Interest rates are the next puzzle piece. When rates fall, borrowing costs drop for both companies and investors. Businesses refinance debt or invest in expansion, while investors search for higher returns in equities or real assets. This is why rate-cutting cycles often coincide with rising asset prices. In 2026, the environment is favorable because we are in a rate-easing phase, supported by Fed balance sheet expansion. Let's discuss dividends. Companies that consistently pay and grow dividends are often well-managed, financially strong, and resilient. Dividends create cash flow for investors and allow reinvestment, which accelerates compounding. In a liquidity-rich, low-rate environment, dividend-paying companies can perform exceptionally well, providing both income and capital growth. Importantly, sustainable dividends are more reliable than chasing high-yield stocks with questionable stability. The US dollar also plays a critical role. When rates fall and liquidity rises, the dollar often weakens. A weaker dollar pushes up the prices of US-denominated assets. For example, gold and silver may rise in dollar terms even if the actual metal does not increase in physical value. This is why investors often see precious metals as a hedge in easing cycles. They protect against currency weakness while benefiting from liquidity-driven price gains. Finally, remember the concept of buying dips wisely. In 2026, markets may experience pullbacks, but these are not signals to panic. They are opportunities to invest in quality businesses at attractive prices. High liquidity environments generally reward patience and strategic buying, not speculation or market timing. Investors who stay disciplined, maintain a margin of safety, and focus on business fundamentals are more likely to compound wealth steadily over time. Now let's bring everything together and focus on practical steps for investors in 2026. First, staying invested is key. Even if you've made gains in 2025, pulling money out to sit on cash exposes you to inflation and opportunity loss. In a liquidity-rich, rate-easing environment, capital left on the sidelines often misses growth. The smarter approach is to stay invested in quality businesses and use any market dips as buying opportunities. Understanding risk versus reward is crucial. Not every asset or sector performs the same way. Diversification helps reduce risk, but over-diversifying can dilute returns. Focus on high-quality companies with sustainable earnings, competitive advantages, and a track record of navigating economic cycles. This creates a resilient portfolio that benefits from both capital appreciation and dividends. Dividends and passive income are powerful tools in 2026. Companies that consistently pay and grow dividends provide cash flow that can be reinvested, accelerating wealth compounding. Reinvested dividends buy more shares, which generate even more dividends. Over decades, this snowball effect can become the largest contributor to total portfolio returns. Cash management remains important. Keeping some liquidity allows investors to capitalize on market dips. Even in a strong market, pullbacks happen. By having cash available, investors can purchase quality assets at lower prices, enhancing long-term returns. This is not speculation. It is rational deployment of capital when opportunities arise. Investors should also be mindful of macro trends. Dollar weakness, rate cuts, and Fed balance sheet expansion all favor stocks, gold, silver, and other real assets. While short-term volatility is inevitable, these tailwinds create a higher probability environment for growth. Understanding how macro forces interact with business fundamentals helps investors make rational decisions rather than reacting emotionally to market noise. A disciplined approach is the backbone of long-term investing. Avoid chasing fads, reacting to every headline, or trying to predict short-term moves. Instead, follow a repeatable process. Analyze the intrinsic value of businesses. Maintain a margin of safety when buying. Focus on companies with strong fundamentals and competitive advantages. Reinvest dividends to accelerate compounding. Stay invested, using dips as opportunities rather than fear signals. Finally, remember the psychological advantage. Knowing that liquidity cycles, interest rates, and Fed policy create a supportive environment allows investors to act rationally during volatility. Pullbacks are not failures. They are invitations to strengthen your portfolio. In summary, 2026 offers a unique combination of tailwinds, rate easing, increased liquidity, a moderately weaker dollar, and potential Fed intervention if stress occurs. By staying invested, focusing on intrinsic value, reinvesting dividends, and managing cash intelligently, investors position themselves to benefit from both capital growth and passive income. For viewers looking to apply these principles, stay disciplined, invest in quality businesses, and use market dips strategically. Avoid emotional reactions, and let time and compounding do their work. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe for more educational investing content and comment below with questions or topics you'd like covered next.